am the crow, and I am the time itself. I perch upon a fractured skull, the remnants of once mighty being whose name and face are now lost to the winds. My black feathers gleam as I feast on the dried flesh that clings to the bone, savoring the bitter taste of decay. The battlefield stretches out before me, a sea of broken bodies and twisted metal, where the last screams of the fallen have long since faded into silence. But before this, before the ground was soaked in blood, and the air was choked with the smoke of war, I was many other things. I have been watching, waiting, shifting my form through the ages as they rose and fell. There is so much to remember. I was there in the beginning, when they were little more than beasts. I am the reptile, and I am the time itself. Long before they walked upright, before they spoke in whispers and dreams, I was there. I slithered through the thick, primordial swamps, my belly close to the warm earth. I watched as they crawled from the dark forest, huddled in fear of the lightning that split the sky. They were nothing then, creatures of instinct driven by hunger and fear. Yet something flickered in their eyes, a spark, a restlessness I had not seen in other beasts of the earth. They were weak and fragile, but began to change. They learned to stand on two legs, to wield sticks and stones with clumsy hands, to hunt not with fangs but with cunning. I watched as they cracked open the bones of fallen prey, licking the marrow that nourished their growing minds. Slowly they became more than animals. They started to understand fire, to huddle around its warmth, casting shadows that danced upon the cavern walls. They began to dream of things beyond mere survival. In the darkness I observed. I could feel the slow pulse of time as it turned from beast to something more. I am the horse, and I am the time itself. Centuries passed. I am the horse, running across vast plains. They multiplied, swarming the earth like ants. They left behind their crude shelters, carving stones into homes, building villages when once there was only wilderness. They learned to control the land, taming the beasts of the earth, bending nature to their will. I watched as they harnessed mankind, bridling into strength to pull their carts, their plows. Their hands grew callous from the labor of building walls and fortifications, marking the land with the first signs of civilization. Small villages grew into bustling towns. Their numbers increased, and with it their hunger for power, for land, for more. The ground, once wild and free, became scarred by roads and fields. They raised altars to gods they imagined, sacrificing to appease forces they could not understand. I galloped through their cobbled streets, unseen but seeing the spark of something new. They had begun to dream of permanence, of legacies that would outlast the lives of those who built them. I am the eagle. I fly and I see, and I am the time itself. I soared above their kingdoms as they stretched their reach, conquering lands and peoples. I saw them clad in iron and steel, marching beneath banners, claiming the world in the name of the kings and emperors. In the east, they built towering fortresses and intricate temples. In the west, they sailed beyond the known horizon, crossing seas to lands untouched by their kind. From above, I watched them draw lines on maps, inventing borders where none existed, dividing themselves with walls of stone and ideas. I saw the fires of conquest burn brightly, consuming everything in the path. Their leader spoke of glory, of divine rights, even as they trampled their own underfoot. But there was a cost. Their greed grew boundless. They took and took until the earth itself began to bleed. Still, they could not see what I saw from the heights. They were already sowing the seeds of their own undoing. I am the dog, sick and beaten, and I am the time itself. Centuries turned. I am a dog, loyal yet battered, watching as they conquered nature itself. They mined the earth, drilled deep into its heart, extracting black blood to fuel their ever-growing machines. Smoke filled the sky, the rivers turned dark with filth, yet still they pressed onward, believing they had mastered the world. The cities they built were vast, filled with factories that belched smoke into the air. They rode upon still beasts powered by steam and oil, marveling at their own ingenuity. But I could smell the sickness beneath it all, the greed that turned brother against brother, the rods that festered in their hearts. They spoke of progress, a new age where nothing would be beyond their grasp. But they were blind to the cost. The land groaned under the weight of their ambitions, the skies darkened, and I, the dog, the sick and beaten, knew they were only on the path to ruin. I am the whale, I sense waves, and I am the time itself. I dove deep beneath the whales when I heard the echoes of the anger reverberating through the ocean's depths. The century of fire had come, machines of wars roared across the earth, and the seas trembled with the force of their explosions. They split the atom, creating weapons that could erase entire cities in an instant. I felt the tension of the water, the fear that rippled through every living thing. Their leaders sat in rooms far away, pushing buttons, sending death across the world in a thought. They spoke of balance, a peace through the heart of annihilation, but I knew better. Beneath their talk of diplomacy was a seething rage, a hunger that could not be sated. The oceans roiled, the earth trembled, and I, the whale, knew that the end was coming. I am the fish in a neon cube in a neon city, and I am the time itself. I drift now in a glass tank, surrounded by glowing lights and the hum of machines. The cities have grown taller, brighter, but emptier. They speak of progress, yet the world is a prison of their own making. The rich live high above the clouds, insulated from the squalor below, while the poor scavenge the streets, their bodies broken by hunger and despair. They have created gods of silicon and steel, praying to screens that flicker with hollow promises. They have forgotten the earth that once fed them, forgotten the stars they once feared. All that remains is endless hum of neon lights, a desperate plea for meaning in a world that has known. I watch them from my tank, a creature trapped in a cube with LED lights just like them. They have everything they could ever want, yet they're more desperate than ever. I am the snake, and I am the time itself. I coil through the sands of the ruined world, feeling the tremors beneath my belly. The earth is dying, choked by the poisons they have poured into it. Their civilization have fallen to dust, leaving only warlords and soldiers who march across the desert in endless, futile battles. The seas have dried, the forests have burned, and the air is filled with the stench of decay. They have turned the world into a wasteland, yet still they fight. Their guns and machines rattle across the dying dunes. They train their armies to kill and die for nothing. The ground shakes beneath me, a reminder that all things crumble in the end. I am the crow, and I am the time itself. I return to my perch on the skull of the last fallen soldier. The final war has ended and there are no more. The earth is silent now, the sky darkened by ash. I peck at the last scraps of flesh, savoring the end. Their cities lies in ruins, their monuments reduced to rubble, their names lost to the wind. They dreamed of conquering the stars, but they could not even save themselves. I am the time itself. I am here to watch them rise and fall. I have seen them crawl from the mud, rise to build empires and fall to ashes. I have been with them through every triumph, every defeat, every moment of madness. But I am eternal, and they are not. I remain watching the stars as they shift once more. Perhaps someday something new will rise from the ashes. Perhaps they will learn. But I am not hopeful, for I am time itself, and I know that all things end.